Hi, guys. Sorry, a little distracted here. I'm cold today. It is a rainy, wet, cold April morning. Need a break from that coldness. I'm ready for the warmth, but I will probably complain when it's hot and I want it cold. So, well, today, this is the new bestseller. This one's all about leadership and self-discipline, this book that I have here. Um, there's some really good information on it on the back of the book here, but I don't know if any of you have seen this book before. Hi, Ahmed. Hi, Norbert. But this book is fantastic. Join. It's called The Anatomy of Peace. So I thought that this would be fun to share some quotes today from this book and to have a discussion around some of the topics that are discussed in this book. But let's first make sure we get to say hi. Hello, everyone. We have Abraham here, Ahmed, and then we have Norbert. Hi, how are you?
Hi, how are you, teacher? Ibrahim, Norbert, how are you all?
I'm doing really well. Yesterday, have you guys ever gotten something in your eye and
Yeah,
it burns? Hi, Abraham.
yes, yes, yes. Sometime actually while driving a motorbike or something.
Oh, of course, yeah. You gotta wear goggles, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, yesterday I ended up having soap really bad. I picked up and moved a bottle of laundry soap, and the pump came down and sprayed right in my eye, and so I couldn't see very well. It was bad.
okay.
So
So
it
are you doing good now?
yes, my eye is a little bit sore. I had to put
Okay.
flush water. I had to put drops in my eyes, but I think I'm gonna be okay, guys. I'll pull out. I'll be safe.
Okay.
Thanks for asking. So I felt like a little child again, though. You know, when kids take a bath and they put shampoo in their hair and they get soap in their eyes and they cry. I,
Yes, exactly.
I felt that way yesterday. I was like, I feel like a little kid. Well, we have new students here visiting. If you're brand new to Hollow, welcome. You're welcome to comment, and you're also welcome to use your free trial and join us. But today we're going to be using this as our discussion. Have any of you read this book?
The Anatomy of Peace. No, I haven't.
Oh man, it's really a good book. And also Norbert, Ibrahim, if you want to join us, let me send you a request to hop on. So I pulled some of the quotes out of here, out of the book, and we will use some of them in the discussion today. So, you guys ready for this? Welcome. We have a new student joining us. Thanks for coming. Susie, hi. So, let me share my screen. Oh, I didn't feel like I got an update though from you, from everyone. Before I do that, did I get everybody's update, how their week went? Hopefully, you had a good, like, productive week. Maybe
Yes,
you're,
actually.
did ya?
No, no. My week was actually great.
Good. What made it great though?
Actually, you can say the routine.
Hmm.
Yeah. So kind of I am actually involved in multiple kind of things. Like I am also learning a software. I am also using this Hello application. I am also like doing my job. So multiple kind of like
That's great. It's nice to learn a new skill or to have something that you're learning. Always a
yes
nice.
actually. Whenever I am free, I try to like utilize it in a productive way, not to waste it.
Yeah, that's great.
Mm.
Well, I love it. Thanks for sharing. That's exciting. Ibrahim,
Thank you.
I can't see if you're, I don't think you're on. Let's see. Oh, we have our new student here. Kind of a big name. I would say Faizan Fried.
Faizan Freed. Faizan
Yeah,
Freed.
hello, man. How are
Hi,
you guys?
good. How are you?
I am pretty well. So,
Awesome.
thank you, teacher, for accepting my request.
Yes, of course. Love to have you. Where are you from?
I'm from Pakistan.
Oh, wonderful. That's so cool.
Yeah.
Well,
Which city are you from, Faizan?
say that again.
Yeah,
Which city are you from?
I'm from Faisalabad.
Okay, that's good. I'm from
It's in
Multan.
Punjab.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I know
bro,
that I'm from Multan.
you are not far from me.
Yes, actually. And I am currently in Lahore. So much more closer than Multan, actually.
Yeah, of course. It's pleasure to be here and talking with you guys.
That's so great. And now you guys will have to get together and get a picture and send it to us.
Yeah, sure.
Now you're best friends.
Of
Well,
course.
very fun. Glad to have you. Well, today we're going to be talking. The topic is always inspirational. We try to talk about things that inspire us. And today we'll talk about peace. And that comes from this book here. It has a lot of great quotes. I'm gonna read just this little first part of the book right here. You can see on the back they add a lot of comments. So it says, "What if conflicts at home, conflicts at work, and conflicts in the world stem from the same root cause? What if we systematically misunderstand the cause? And what if, as a result, we systematically perpetuate the very problems we think we are trying to solve?" So, this book makes us really stop and think, what are the causes of this? Have you guys heard of that phrase or that term, root cause?
Yes.
Okay. What would be a good example of like a root cause
Mm,
or a definition for those who
I
don't know?
have to think actually. The root cause is actually the comes from the root, like the root of a tree. Like root is the base of something.
Right.
So you can see the base of a problem or something causing it. That is
Yeah,
a root cause, like the basic cause of any problem.
exactly. So, and the base is like the bottom. So the tree has a root that's the bottom of the, but
Yes,
what
yes.
what is the most important part of a tree?
That's the base actually. The root.
Right? Like it really should be the roots.
Yeah.
If you don't have good roots, you don't have a good tree, right?
Yes. It cannot stand actually without a
Mhm.
good root.
Yeah, it can't even stand. So when we say in here, it says, "What if conflicts at home, work, and in the world stem from the same root cause?" What does that mean when I say stem?
Stem is actually
It's kind of
uh,
analogous a lot with a tree, isn't it?
yeah.
Mhm.
Stem is actually a part of like a tree that connects your like leaves to your tree. The stem is the, yeah, the connection between your leaves and the tree.
It's
Yeah.
interesting. This statement actually refers to like parts of a tree
Yes.
twice. Um, Here I'm going to show you a picture real quick so everybody can see what we're talking about here. A little bit more visual. Yeah, and also please comment, Norbert. Love to have you just comment when you feel free to. I love it when we can just engage with each other. Okay, so here's the tree we were talking about. The roots are these
Uh,
parts down here,
Do,
right?
do you hear me, teacher?
Now I hear you. Were you talking before? I'm so sorry.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to show like right down here. These are the roots, right? All
Yes.
all these parts right here. But the stem is generally, well, okay. These are the branches here. And off of the branches will sometimes be stems. This is a harder picture for me to show. So this might be more like a stem here. Also, a flower has a stem. Okay.
Yes, yes,
Uh,
yes,
and the flower stem is generally like the long part here, right? This is the stem right here.
yes.
Yeah. So if something will stem from something, it usually like here's the base problem, the roots are the problem, and then the stem is where things start to go
Yes.
crazy. Everything's
The
going everywhere.
subdividing,
Yeah. Say that again one more time.
subdividing.
Yeah, it's subdivided. Like now we have the roots were the problem, and now we have multiple, lots of different problems, right?
Like from those roots, other branches are involving.
Yep. Yep. And it'll just keep branching out. That's another thing that you might hear say. If you branch out, it means that you're extending, it's getting bigger if you branch out.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah,
That's good.
very cool. Okay, so I'm going to share some quotes from this book. But what does it mean if I say, what if we systematically misunderstand those causes? I'm going to put it in the chat. What if we, that's kind of an fun word, systematically. You know what systematically? What if we systematically misunderstand these causes? There it is. Yeah, Ahmed, branch out to like spread out, grow bigger. Okay, so what if we systematically misunderstand these causes?
Systematically actually means kind of organized.
In like a system, right? Like
Yes, actually.
like almost programmed. What if we are almost like programmed to believe that it's a different problem, but really it's this other thing?
Actually, we are not getting to the root cause of it. We are
Right.
misunderstanding it, getting it wrong.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so we're going with that in mind. Let's go to our quotes here. Let me scroll up. And this is all of these quotes come from this institute, and it's all about the anatomy of peace, resolving the heart of conflict. When I say the heart of conflict, what does that mean, Norbert? If I say it's the heart of conflict?
I think the heart of conflict means the root of the conflict, the cause of the conflict.
The main thing, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. So I love that you went back to using that analogy of like the root. It's the root cause. It can also be the heart of the problem. It's the base of the problem. Yeah, totally. Okay. So we're going to try to see if we can resolve conflicts. All right, here we go. Who is ready to do some reading? I feel like we lost Fazan Freed. Let me see if I can get you to hop back on.
Yeah, and Ibrahim is also, I think he's not hop on.
I don't see him in at all. I do see Ibrahim. If you want to join us, you're welcome to. Okay, I'm going to unpin that and see if I can get anyone else to hop on. But let's go ahead. And Ahmed, do you want to read for us?
Yeah, sure. Actually, can you move it a little bit on the left side?
Yes, I can do whatever you need. So, if I go this, well, let me see.
That's more clear now.
Is that better?
Yes, I can see it now.
Okay, perfect.
Okay. So it says, the more sure I am that I am right, the more likely I will actually be mistaken. My need to be right makes it more likely that I will be wrong. Likewise, the more sure I am that I am mistreated, the more likely I am to miss ways that I am mistreating others myself. My need for justification obscures the truth.
Ooh,
Avenger institute the anatomy.
I'm so
Yeah.
sorry. It jumped. I don't know why it jumped. So yeah, this is from, again, I'm going to just, we don't need to read that part, but again,
Okay.
that's from this book here. Whoa. Okay, kind of a lot to take in right there. Let's just break it
It's
up
kind
just a
of
little.
philosophical.
Say again.
It's kind of philosophical thing that is written right here.
Yeah, like a philosophical statement,
Yes.
right? Yes. Very deep,
Yeah.
introspective thinking here. So let's read this very first part again. Norbert, will you read this and then let's break it down just a little bit?
You mean read it again?
Well, just the blue part. Can you read the blue part?
Okay. The more sure I am that I am right, the more likely I will actually be mistaken.
Okay. Now, I don't know all the context around this statement, but what's your thoughts? Why would he say this?
Yeah, I think that uh, uh, first we do not we are not perfect. That is the basic things that we need to to recognize. We are not perfect. We do not have the whole truth, the whole
Mm-hmm.
wisdom, the whole goodness. So we have some. If we think that we are right, then we are mistaken because we are not. Nobody is right. Nobody sees the whole truth. Nobody is perfect. So if you think you are perfect, then you are mistaken. I think that is the.
And sometimes our perspective of what is right is totally different than somebody else's perspective, right?
Yeah.
So I might really, although and again, this is open discussion. This doesn't mean anyone's leaving here with the right answers or the wrong answers. We're just collaborating ideas. I do believe in general, there are things that we can all agree that this is right, this is wrong, right? I don't know. Do you guys agree with that?
Yes, actually, it actually depends on the person. The thing
It does.
that is that might be true in my perspective, you may not agree with it.
I would say there's a lot. I would say there's more things around us that would tell us that it all depends on the person. But there are certain things in life where I think most of us can say, no, that's wrong and that's right.
Yes, actually, yeah, yeah. There are
I,
certain things that we all believe that this thing is wrong, while morally or like spiritually, anything.
I think, teacher, you say the right the good word like perspective. I think that everyone, all of us, only sees the world in perspective. Nobody sees the whole world in its totality. Only we see the whole world. Everything we see in perspective. That means not the whole totality. So if you think that we see the whole totality, the right thing, then that we mistaken because only the perspective is only the some part of the truth that we see, not the whole truth.
I know I like that. It's interesting as you were talking more and more about perspective. Let's give a scenario here for a second. Um, I think we can all agree comfortably that stealing is wrong, right? You shouldn't steal. We shouldn't go to the store.
Yes,
We can't.
yes,
We shouldn't take something that's not ours, right? Okay. Let's make a scenario here. A little child goes to the grocery store. He's hungry. He has no. He needs something to eat. He takes the apple. The perspective changes a bit for us, doesn't it? I mean, it's still wrong. He shouldn't steal, but we have now that we see that, we understand the problem. He's hungry. He doesn't have food. Maybe he's homeless. There's factors, right? There's situations that are causing us to have compassion for this child. Our perspective even shifts a little. Does it justify his stealing? What do you guys think?
Yeah, that's kind of a difficult scenario actually.
Right.
Uh, yeah, like in the case of a child, everyone will think that he is hungry, so it's not bad for him to steal. Actually, it is morally incorrect, but still we will think that he is a child and he is hungry, so let him like eat it.
Yeah. It's really interesting how, like Norbert was saying, perspective. Doesn't it make a big difference? Um, I could look at another mother and she's not tending to her children. She's letting them run around wild. And I could be really frustrated, like, oh my goodness, why? But maybe yesterday their father passed away and she is so caught up in her thoughts, she doesn't have the energy or the wherewithal to take care of her children. I don't have that perspective, right? I don't
Yeah.
understand her situation.
Yes, actually, you cannot understand what she is feeling actually. You
Yeah.
might think that the kids are free roaming around and they might get hurt or get lost, but you actually don't know what the mother is going through. So
Yeah.
yeah, it is justified actually.
It's really interesting when we put things in perspective. Um, it our thoughts can change. Okay, let's read this
There,
part.
there is,
Yeah,
teacher,
Norbert. Yes, please.
there is a saying that says that before judging others, you need to be on their shoes. You need to put on
Yeah.
yourself on their shoes.
Is it walk in someone's shoes or wear shoes? What is it? How does that saying
Putting
go?
putting putting yourself in their shoes, something
Yeah.
like that.
We kind of talked about that, I think, last time. Putting your,
Yeah, in the last week, I think the
yeah,
topic was like judging. Yeah, exactly, judging or judgment.
yes, yes. Putting yourself in their shoes. Okay, I'll put that in the chat. So sometimes we do need to have perspective, but let's go back to the little boy who takes the apple. We all agree that he's stolen something. It's not right. Um, we don't have that perspective. Maybe we're not compassionate or understanding. We want to be right, only right. What black and white, right and wrong. There's no in the middle, no gray areas. So this next part is all about that black and white. Ahmed, will you read this one more time?
Yeah, sure. My need to be right makes it more likely that I will be wrong. Likewise, the more sure I am that I am mistreated, the more likely I am to misways that I am mistreating others myself.
Okay, so read into this just a little bit more. Like my initial thought was, wait, wouldn't knowledge bring more power and understanding? And like my need to be right is the key thing here. To be right um, makes it more likely that I will be wrong. So if I am wrong in my judgment towards this little boy, I'm right. This what you did was wrong. It's black and white. There's no mercy.
Yeah,
Then there's a good chance that I'm going to be making the wrong decision how I treat this child. Again, I could be mistreating them. The more likely I'm to mistreat others because of this
yes,
harsh
actually.
black and white, right?
Yes, actually, you are the person that actually you're talking about. He is trying to be right all the time. So he might misjudge the situation, or to make himself right, he might treat the child in a wrong way.
Mm-hmm.
Just to prove himself right, he might
Yeah.
say that, yeah, this thing is not right.
Yes, we can definitely. Sometimes we do. We can hurt people emotionally, mentally, physically, even because we want to be right.
Yes, That's very well explains the need to be right. Like you always need to be right. Why is that so? You cannot be right all the time.
Right. Do you know what? When somebody believes that they are always right, we call them like a know-it-all sometimes, but there's actually a word that really describes that person who just thinks, I know everything. I am so good. I know right and wrong. I'm going to give you this word. It's to be prideful, or they have pride.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
pride or overconfident or self-complimentary, I would say, something like that.
yeah, if you really believe that you were always right, you might be a prideful person.
Yes, actually.
hmm
And
Norbert,
that pride will lead you to make those wrong decisions.
yes, yes, and it can lead you to make those poor choices.
Yes, actually.
Because here's the fun word, because you feel absolutely justified, or you feel like there's justification.
Yes.
What does it mean to obscure, or it obscures the truth?
Hides the truth.
Something my
What's that,
need
Norbert?
for not to close the truth.
What did you say, Norbert? Did I catch you?
Hides the truth. Hide.
Yeah,
Hides.
yeah,
Hidden.
yeah. It keeps from being seen. So
Yes.
um, it says, my need for justification, for that justice, can it actually obscure, or it obscures the truth?
Yeah, it can actually hide or conceal the truth.
Yeah.
Or yeah.
Ooh, that one hurts a little bit when you think about that. My need for justification obscures the truth. That's pretty powerful, actually. I'm going to put that in the chat. Okay, we just broke this whole philosophical statement. I feel like we understand it
Yeah.
really well.
We have to
In-
actually break it down just to understand it.
right?
Yeah.
But it's a good discussion. It's really I love digging deeper and understanding it, breaking it down. Okay, well, let's go to this one. I think, Norbert, are you our reader now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Most wars between individuals are of the cold rather than the hot variety. Lingering resentment, for example, grudges long held, resources clashed rather than shared, help not offered. These are the acts of war that most threaten our homes and workplaces.
Good job. You read everything perfectly. Just this last one right here. This one where it says threaten.
Threaten,
Yeah. It's threaten. Threaten.
threaten.
Perfect. Yeah. Ooh, most wars between individuals are the cold rather than the hot variety. Let's break this down a little bit, guys. Okay, so what is it? Why do you think we're referring to the temperature of a war, Norbert?
Yeah, this passage really, I don't understand really what is called variety and what is hot variety.
Okay,
I'm confused about that.
well, it's good.
I
We
don't
can get
know what is about the cold variety and the hot variety. I
okay.
see the some example right there, lingering resentment. Are
Yeah,
those cold variety or hot variety or what?
those
That
would
is
be
my
those are the cold variety of wars, like things that are cold-hearted. Have you heard that term before? Cold-hearted.
that means that you are
Heartless.
okay, hard, yeah. You don't
Yes.
feel anything toward the person.
Mm-hmm. Yep,
Okay.
exactly. So
Mm,
sometimes when there is a conflict, so Norbert, you and me, we disagree about something, and we
mm,
can start getting really upset, and ah, we can get heated with our discussion. Sometimes we refer to the temperature of something. So if it's a hot topic, that means it's like really good. Oh, it's such a good topic. If it's a hot argument, that means that it is really bad. Like it's getting very negative. It's a very negative thing. So sometimes we refer to temperature in our discussions to give it a descriptive, word to understand it more. If it's a hot discussion or a hot war, that means that it's really bad. It's negative. What's happening is a hot war. But if you
Can we say that the cold refers here to the like things that we keep in our heart and not speak openly?
Yep, they call it those cold wars within ourselves. It's very figurative. Yeah.
Like we are debating with someone and we are openly like arguing with someone, that can be called a hot discussion, you can say. But if we are not understanding or not accepting, even if we know that this is true, but we are not we are still trying to justify ourselves.
Yeah. And those cold wars are usually within ourselves. Like Norbert and I might leave a hot or heated discussion, and I'm maybe more introverted, not really, but I'm introverted and I hold all of my anger inside. And I leave the discussion still angry inside. Norbert leaves and he's like, okay, we're resolved. We're all good. But guess what? I still have a cold war in my heart. I still have that cold.
Okay, so now I'm getting it. Is it evolving from the word Cold War? Like we put sanctions on the countries and we don't let them getting the resources and things like that?
Yeah, so you're withholding things from the country. You're not going to give them any resources. You're holding on to things you're not going to share. Those are things that make it like a Cold War. Okay, Norbert, you had something though.
Yeah, if I can explain it, is that cold from inside the heart, but hot if it is about action. Is that the case, or is cold describing the coldness of heart, and the hot describing the hotness, the action? I tried to wrap my mind about it. I could not yet to get the differences.
Yeah. So if something is hot, it's usually taking action right then and there. So it's a hot topic. It's really sometimes it's something that's current. Like if it's a hot topic, it's a current topic. If it is a hot discussion, it means that it's in the moment, it's heated. There's a lot of energy and anger maybe happening.
Okay.
So when that's why they're referring to like we're not talking about those hot wars between people or hot things that are currently happening. These are things that we hold on to. When it becomes, and it makes us cold inside, it makes us almost, like you said, heartless.
Okay.
Yeah. And so you might hear people refer to these two temperatures, and even in conversation, it makes it descriptive. It's colorful.
Okay.
So these are some really important things that would be of the cold wars between people, those disagreements. So resentment. Are you guys familiar with resentment? The word?
Yeah.
Okay. Resentment means I still have hard feelings towards someone. I'm bitter. The other one is the grudge. What is a grudge? It's kind of like resentment, really.
Yeah, actually, the bitterness in your heart.
Yeah.
for something.
Yeah, it's almost like you have those hard feelings towards someone from past
Yeah.
experiences, and it's usually something that you have for a long time when you have a grudge. Okay? Again, if you're holding resources or you're not sharing things, these are acts of wars that most threaten our homes and workplaces.
Mhm.
So I'm going to actually, these are acts of wars. I would actually almost say it's like those Cold Wars of Cold War that most threatens our homes and workplaces. Would you agree with that? Resentment,
Yes,
grudge.
actually.
Yeah.
It actually refers to most of the like office or home environment in which we are living, that society in which we live in. Like we openly do not talk about something or say something to something like someone that this is wrong, but we still have a grudge in our heart about a person, and we like make things difficult for him and not openly speaking about it.
Mhm. I agree. And the saddest part is I'm going to ask you guys this question. Who are we most likely to hold grudges against?
Friends, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, with whom we have a bad experience for some reason, for some unfortunate reason.
And it seems most often those grudges are with family members because we interact with them the closest.
Yeah, yes,
And even again, also friends and also coworkers or your boss, we can have those feelings of resentment and grudges with them as well.
yeah. It can be actually anywhere in your social circle. It can
Yep.
be with the friends or the family, everywhere.
Yeah. What do you think, Norbert? Do you agree? Do you think we're most likely to have grudges with like those who we're closest with?
Yeah, I think that's true because the person with the person that you are far away or a stranger or foreigners,
Yeah.
you don't know about them, you don't have anything about them, so don't have anything about them. But for the family that who are related to you, the friends, you interact with them every day, and you see their weakness. You know their weakness, you know their uh, their their bad side. You know them better and better, so that makes you more more I mean more
You got it.
sensitive
Yes.
to their act or to their feelings. Yeah.
Yes. So these things are I almost want to I'm going to use a descriptive way of saying that these things are poison to our soul. Um,
Yeah, but I
these
think that
cold.
it also depends on the person. I am again saying it, but I personally think that it depends on the person. Like uh, a person that is actually not sincere with someone, he will hold such kind of grudges. Or a person who is actually a hypocrite, you can say, he will like hold these grudges. A kind-hearted man will not think about holding these grudges. For example, if I am having a bad experience with someone, I will not hold any grudge against him. Rather, I will like cut off myself from him. I will cut off my relation with him.
You just yeah you'll sever is another fun way you can cut it, which is a very
Okay.
great. I mean that's very typical to say just cut the relationship or cut something if you want
Yeah.
it out of your life. Or if you want to be very descriptive and use a more advanced word, you can sever it. You
Travel.
yeah, sever. So and
Okay.
when you sever something, it almost is like when I hear the word sever, I think of a saw, like a an axe
Okay. So
like this.
cutting something actually.
Yeah, it's like literally like you're gonna sever it. Um, an axe with an axe, you can use a saw. Like you would use a saw to sever something off. So it's very descriptive of saying that you would cut off a person in your life, or you could also say, I'll sever them off. Just another very advanced vocabulary word.
Is it
Okay,
SAVOUR?
I'll put it in the
Savor.
chat. Se- severed. It's, yeah, SEVERED. It means to literally like cut off.
Savor.
Mhm.
Okay, so I was thinking of SAVOUR. So I was thinking the savor means the taste. So
Oh, like
yeah, that I
savor,
was
like
thinking.
savor.
Yeah,
Oh,
taste, taste.
no, you don't want to savor them. You're like,
Okay,
relish.
okay.
So good.
Yeah,
It's so good. No,
yeah.
yeah,
That's why I asked of the like letters.
glad.
So,
That would have been completely opposite.
okay, okay. I see.
Very good. Okay. All right, let's go to our next one. Again, we are talking about peace, but we're using a lot of the quotes from this book about the anatomy of peace. And so these are just, this is called food for thought, things to get us thinking. All right. So let's have Ahmed, you read.
All right. No conflict can be solved so long as all parties are convinced they are right. Solution is possible only when at least one party begins to consider how he might be wrong.
Ooh. Personal thought here. Are you able to admit when you're wrong? I mean,
Yes,
you don't have to answer, but I'm like, but you're welcome to. Um, I think a lot human nature, for all human beings, I think it is hard for people to admit when they are wrong. Uh, maybe easier for some, and harder for others, but in general, and I could be wrong, but I think some people really struggle with being able to admit that they're wrong. Any thoughts on this?
yes, actually, yeah, it sometimes become difficult to like accept the reality.
Mhm.
So we just keep ignoring it, and like you can say we actually convince ourselves that we somehow are on the right path.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's very, it takes, here's a good one. It takes a lot of humility to be,
Yeah, humility is the right one.
yeah, a lot of, Norbert, do you have any thoughts?
Yeah, I think mostly people are do not listen to others when they are in discussion or they are in some conflict. They never listen to the others. But I think the solution should be you need to listen to people for listen more listening than speaking, or that is what you have to do to be able to put solution. But if you're always talking or acting without seeing the others, then the conflict will continue. But you need to 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 step to set back and listen to what the other parties are want to tell you. And if you listen to them and try to understand them, try to be on their shoes to understand what they are, then you can understand what they are about, and so and be and they have and think a solution about that. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, I know there's some really cool quotes about listening. and to understanding someone. Have you guys heard that one where it says to be understood, you first need to understand?
Yes, I have heard of it.
So I think I'll put it here. To be understood. To be understood, you should, I don't know if this is exactly the quote, but you should first understand.
Understand.
So in other words, how would summarize that or put it in your own words, Ahmed?
Okay, so I would say that like if I am trying to convince someone over some topic, then I should first listen to him, and then I might disagree, but I should at least give him this respect to express himself, get uh, actually what should I say? Uh, Listening to him at least, and then making the decision. So I would have to listen to him first
Yeah,
in order for him to understand me.
exactly. Yeah. So I want to be understood. I want you to hear me, listen to me. First, I
Yeah,
need to understand you, don't I?
yeah.
Yeah. Norbert, will you read this? I have this quote from a really popular author. His name is Stephen R. Covey.
Yeah. Most people do not listen with the intent to understand. They listen with the intent to reply. Yeah. Yeah. Stephen R. Covey.
Yeah.
I think he is right.
That very much explains the situation.
Wait,
Yeah.
say again.
I said that this very much explains the whole situation here.
Exactly right. Yeah, we don't always sit to listen and understand someone. We just want to share. Sometimes you might hear this one. We want to give our 2 bits. Have you heard that before?
Yeah. So it actually says that there is a difference between listening and understanding.
Sometimes it's 2 bits or 2 cents. Sorry, will you say that one more time? I couldn't catch.
Yeah, I was saying that it actually says that these are two different things, to listen and to understand.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can listen to many things, but you can understand a few.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Or you
that's
can say
actually,
that you are not convinced to understand, or you don't want to understand.
yeah, that's definitely a good point to make here, that listening doesn't mean that you're actually understanding someone.
Yes. Like you are trying to impose your thought onto someone.
Yeah, totally. Wow, that was actually really profound. Like I hadn't pulled that out of this, but you did. That was really good. Okay. Here's I wanted to say that some people want to give their 2 cents, or they say their 2 bits. If you guys have heard that before?
I have heard of cents, but I'm not aware of bits.
Yeah, it's the same thing, bits, 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 or their bits worth. It means the same thing. So 2 bits. I think bits are also monetary. It's money, but
Okay.
I,
So like the Bitcoin?
yeah, like a Bitcoin, exactly.
Yeah.
Very
Okay.
good correlation. Yes. So you could say that, like, if he just wants to give his 2 cents, he's not listening, or sorry, he's not understanding. He just wants to give his 2 bits. He wants to give his 2 cents. That means he just wants to say what he thinks. Norbert, had you heard that
Yeah.
before?
No, but I think that it's already a good step if you listen to people, because most of the time when two people are in discussions, they don't listen at all.
Yeah.
Sometimes you see people who discuss, they speak at the same time. The one is speaking, the other are speaking, and there is no listening at all. So if you put a little time to listen, that's already a good step, I think so. But you need to the first step is to listen, and to listen by the ears, and the second step is to listen by the heart. I think so.
Ooh, to listen
Yeah,
by the heart. Yeah.
yeah,
That's where true understanding comes in, doesn't it?
yeah. Not
Uh,
only listen by the ears. You have
yeah.
to listen by the heart to understand
Yeah,
someone.
Norbert explained it perfectly actually. The
Say
listening
again.
from the ear and then listening from the heart. Like I said that Norbert explained it really well. That listening from the ear, that's a common thing, but listening from the heart, that's make you understand the situation or the
Yeah,
right thing.
yeah, that is true. Yeah.
Norbert, I'm putting it in here from Hollow. I'm using you as a quote there. Listening from the heart. Norbert from Hollow. Very good. I like that. We're gonna pin that. It's true. And maybe that's where the true understanding comes in, is when we actually listen with our hearts.
Yeah.
Hey, this is super fun conversation. Let's go here. I think Ahmed, I think it's your turn.
Okay, sure. People whose hearts are at war toward others can't consider others' objections and challenges enough to be able to find a way through them.
Okay. How ironic. We literally were just talking about our hearts and what Norbert just said. Um, that I love that word, ironic. Have you guys ever heard that song by I think it's Nirvana. She says, or they sing, "Isn't it ironic?" Have you ever heard that song?
Yeah, it's
No.
I have heard of the irony. Like irony is something that you can say uh, it's in a negative sense. The irony that we cannot change this thing, but this is certain.
Yes,
Like it's not a good thing. Yeah,
yeah.
irony.
You could say, isn't it? It's irony, right? I like that. Very good.
Ironic.
We were
Yeah.
just talking about our hearts, and so people whose hearts are at war towards the others, they can't consider others' objections and their challenges to be able to find their way through them.
Yes, actually, the same example that you gave early, the mother and the child example. Like she is setting them free, but you are not able to understand what she is going through. So
Exactly.
you are not giving her a space to understand.
Yeah. It's it's really important for us to in order for us to have peace in our life. I mean, this is what the whole topic has been on, is about finding peace. It
Yeah, I would love to like give it a try. What is the author name, by the way?
let's see if I can find the author. It's by this institute here. Let me see if I can find the name on
The
the book.
Abringer Institute.
Yeah.
Okay,
I,
so I will just search
I
it.
don't know if I don't know if
Yeah,
it's a specific actual author or if it's just a collaboration of just really smart
yeah,
people.
there is actually not. There is no author actually. It's
No,
the same that you are like the Abringer or something.
yeah. So this is, I mean, it has a lot of good stories in it, and it also has a lot of great quotes. And some of these are the quotes from this book today. Okay.
So,
Uh,
okay.
Tara says, "Can I join?" Tara, we only have like 2 minutes left, but I hope that you'll stick around and join other teachers' classes as you are a new student. Please check everyone out here. Oh, and I had this story, or I had a picture there for that. Okay. Ooh, this one's a good one. Norbert, let's do this one.
If we are poor learners, our teaching will be ineffective.
Again, it's one of those things like we have to have that understanding, that open heart and mind. We can't teach someone. I can't convince you that you're wrong. I couldn't, like if we're having a conflict, it's not going to go well if I'm not actually learning from the situation or from someone else, right?
Yes, actually, learning is very much like related to the understanding. If you will understand, then you will learn and you will actually mm, bring it into your action.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's some, if you've learned, then you can actually use that when teaching.
Yes.
I think some of the
Teacher,
best, go ahead, please,
teacher,
Norbert. Mhm.
teacher, I want to tell about the natural divide between people, like age, gender,
Mhm.
race. Those natural divide mainly separate people and prevent them to understand each other. For
Yeah,
example, between the old people and the young generation,
right.
they say when a young person see an old person, they cannot. If they think this is the old man, I don't want to deal with that. And the old man said, "This is to a young person, I cannot have anything with him."
Right.
So those natural divide. If you do not step further to understand them, to be in their shoes, then you cannot be with them like that. Yeah.
Right. We can't let certain stereotypes stop us from having healthy relationships and finding peace in the world. We can let our cultures divide us. We can let racism divide us. We can let gender divide us. We can let age divide. Like there's so many things that naturally can divide us, right?
Yeah.
But we need to have that heart of understanding. Your quote, that heart that understands. I love you guys. You're so awesome. Thanks for being here. It's such a pleasure for me, and what a wonderful discussion. Thank
Thank
you.
you,
Yes.
teacher. Thank